The KILLING of Indian diplomat Ravindra Mhatre in the United Kingdom is a stark reminder of how anti-India elements have found safe refuge in Britain for decades. Whether it be I terrorists, K terrorists, or economic fugitives, the UK has long been a sanctuary for those seeking to evade justice in their home countries. Many corrupt politicians and financial offenders from Asia and Africa have sought and received asylum in the UK, raising questions about the secret dealings between these individuals and the British establishment. However, the focus today is on the brutal KILLING of Indian diplomat Ravindra Mhatre in 1984. Ravindra Mhatre was the second rank official in India's consular office in Birmingham, UK. On February 3rd, 1984, as he stepped off a bus carrying a birthday cake for his daughter Asha, he was abducted by I terrorists who called themselves the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. He was taken to an area called Alam Rock, predominantly inhabited by migrants from Mirpur, which is a part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and was held captive for 3 days. His captors demanded a ransom of £1 million and a release of Maqbul Bhatt, a convicted terrorist jailed in India. Despite efforts to secure Mhatre's release, India refused to negotiate the release of a known terrorist. The ransom was provided, but the demands were not fully met. 2 days later, Mhatre's body was discovered approximately 20 miles from Birmingham. The cold-blooded MURDER sent shock waves across India and the diplomatic community. The UK authorities eventually convicted 3 individuals for Mhatre's MURDER, but a fourth conspirator, Mohammad Aslam Mirza, managed to escape to the United States. His involvement remained hidden until 2004, when he was arrested in the US for overstaying his visa. A routine fingerprint check revealed that his prints matched those found on the gun used to KILL Mhatre. However, very slyly, Mirza claimed to have no recollection of the events of 1984 due to severe memory problems. Clearly, even a small child would see through this bluff, you might think. But strangely enough, the UK courts found him not guilty in 2005. It was evident that powerful forces within the British establishment had worked behind the scenes to ensure Mirza's escape from justice. To add insult to injury, the very neighborhood where Mhatre was held captive, Alam Rock, saw a movement emerge in support of his KILLERS. A campaign was launched advocating for the release of the convicted MURDERER, and it soon transformed into a political entity, ironically named the Justice Party. The sheer audacity of this movement was a grim reflection of how radical elements found not only safe haven but also political legitimacy in the UK. One would assume that the UK government had learned its lesson and would take stringent measures to prevent such occurrences. However, the events of August 2023 proved otherwise. A group of K extremists attacked the Indian High Commission in London, desecrating the Indian flag and injuring an Indian diplomat in the process. Despite its obligation to protect foreign diplomatic missions, the UK police failed to provide adequate security. The incident was yet another instance where Britain's reluctance to act against anti India elements was exposed. The MURDER of Ravindra Mhatre and the subsequent handling of his case exemplify the UK's troubling approach to harboring individuals and groups working against India. Decades later, the same patterns persist, raising critical questions about Britain's true motivations in providing safe refuge to terrorism, separatists, and economic offenders. What is it, one might think, that makes the UK government act against India? Is it the bitterness that the golden goose that was India for UK got away? Or is it bitterness that one of their former colonies now boasts a GDP higher than the UK? One can only speculate what the real reason might be.